Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Limitless DxT coverage here on a Wednesday night for SRM, SRM ESports at the Mexico Grand Prix for round 10, of course, for season 3. And looking forward to it with Justin. He's not on his own tonight. I think he's pretty happy about that one, at least, and looking forward to a good Mexican Grand Prix, of course.
Well, of course I am. Like, the thing about the Mexican Grand Prix is actually a very difficult track when it comes to the F1 2021 game. And yeah, as you said before, I feel a lot better that I am with someone today instead of by myself. Because I'm gonna tell you, it gets a bit boring, being the
I
lonely
know the
one in the
feeling.
commentator's box.
I do know the feeling. But 18 minutes, it's in European flags up there at the top. That's weird. You see that?
The European
You,
flag. Well, yeah, I see the European Union flags. Yeah,
yeah, that's
European
strange.
Union. I see a Finland. I think that's Poland.
I don't know why there's an EU flag there, but okay. So,
Why not?
19 drivers tonight. And just before qualifying gets started, Justin, we should tell people who are watching from LFR or last night especially, or any viewers who are watching and didn't know what happened. We were going to stop the race at lap 25, and we're going to be sorting out the order for that at the end with regards to penalties as well, having to sort out. But the drivers will be getting half points as they only made 71% race distance, not 75 required for full race points. Is now we've let everyone know about that, so that will be told probably on Sunday what the result of that was, potentially by me or Justin, as we're seeing drivers now on their outlaps, Justin, and getting underway rather quickly. As I say every time this happens, most likely going to be a dry race in that case.
Most likely. Well, I'm actually going to see if we can actually get in contact with our weatherman today to see if we can actually
Oh,
confirm that.
is it
But
is it good old Steve?
actually, I'm not too sure. To be honest, I'm actually just gonna probably just ask around. Maybe it could be even RSI Market. You never know.
You do never know. We've got half the grid, Justin, out on their outlaps already, so we've got a busy track unfolding already. Got some drivers just about to start their laps. Looks like a Red Bull is about to start his lap and has. And why don't you take us through this lap, Justin?
Yeah, sure thing. So basically, when it comes to that first turn, the first chicane of this Mexican Grand Prix, you just have to really get the lining correctly. If you get a really good exit off of the third turn, which New Dark doesn't really get a pretty good exit, it's gonna help you a lot when it comes to this DRS zone. Actually, this is the second DRS zone, actually. Of course, New Dark. Oh, he misses the braking line, and that's the thing with this track. You have to time braking. We have to have good reaction times and everything. Have the perfect line. Of course, with a lot of tracks, it is. But I think with with the Mexican Grand Prix, it is a lot more beneficial at that point.
He's really having a
Oh,
scruffy lap there, Justin. He doesn't invalidate
yeah.
it. But
Which is surprising. He went completely off at the white line there. But that's the thing, that it just shows the difference between drivers that did the practice and drivers that did not. So, because I was actually in the practice session earlier, and the few people that gave me that gave a good time actually was Angry Dutch Guy, and who else was it? It was Angry Dutch Guy, and I believe it was Steve as well. They both set a pretty good lap time during the practice session. But Dopey Lemons getting a really good lap, 117.3. I would see people aiming for like the 116.9, 116.8 time. So Dopey could be in the top half of this Grand Prix, but we'll just have to wait and see it then.
just seen Smee go into a preliminary pole position there, Justin, and it's the Alpha Tauri front row as it stands, but obviously only on their first laps in qualifying. Seeing Steve across the line take pole for the time being with a 16.691. Good lap there from the Alpine drivers.
Yeah, amazing stuff from him. Well, 116.6. I did say that he did very well in the practice session, so it doesn't really surprise me that much. But he, of course, he is going off the track, letting a Williams and it looks like an Alfa Romeo through. So good spatial awareness from him there. Very good spatial awareness from Steve.
Seeing Richard coming round the stadium section. Justin just about to finish his first lap. Is he going to compare to his teammate? He goes fourth fastest, so he is on the second row and not too far behind his teammate. And the times are getting closer, and Dundree's now goes up.
That's a seriously fast lap. I didn't anticipate a 1:15.9. That's outstanding. And actually, the thing is about the Mexican Grand Prix, you can get such a big lap time if you know where the racing line is. Because when it comes to this track, it is curb friendly. You can go on the curbs as much as you want, even if you go a little bit on the grass or the green sectors past the curb, past the apex. It's very, very beneficial, and you could set a really, really fast time as Dundree's did. So well done to him, but let's just see how the rest of these drivers do. We actually have a few people on the mediums. RSI Markey actually was on the mediums with his 1:16.7, so that's really fast.
It is rather fast, I have to admit. We've just seen Joseph finish his lap. Battle Mini has finished his lap as well. Got a mixture of the softs and mediums, Justin. Is that going to make it a bit more interesting towards the end of qualifying? Are they all going to switch to a medium set? Seeing Michael there in the Aston Martin just go through the S's in sector 2 as he comes around into the stadium hairpin to be precise. He was a bit touch and go there with the McLaren as he comes around the final corner. Make sure to get a nice clean run out the final to set your time. He does a 17.1, goes 1/10 ahead of Michael, but there is a bit of a gap to that top 4, Justin.
Yeah, but it's still a really, really good turnout for those mediums. As you did just hear, we have a special guest on in the commentaries box, aka Joe's dog. Actually, very good to see them here today. But when it comes to the Aston Martins, they've actually done very well, setting really, really good times on the mediums. I knew you would enjoy that one, Joe.
So we have still got 2 drivers not to have set their laps yet, Justin. Got a new Dark Destroyer coming out of the pit lane now, hoping to better his 1:22 time. He's one of Starless, I'm guessing, as he did at 28.6, which is in no way competitive.
Well, we're gonna have to see how they do for the rest of this qualifying. We only have 10 minutes left in this qualifying, and the people that are watching, I actually want to hear from you guys. Who you guys think is gonna have a good chance of getting a driver of the day? Actually, we're not gonna do race winner just yet. We're gonna see who you guys think is gonna be driver of the day for this, because we have a lot of big contenders. The main ones that we should really be focusing on, actually, is RSI Markey, Steve, who are both second and third for the championship.
Oh, sorry, Justin. His new Dark Destroyer is into the wall there, Justin. I'm sorry to cut you off. There was a bit of carnage there through the S's, and Grimmy's also retired.
There,
if you carry on, what were you talking about?
Well, actually, if you look at F1 Farth, you see that Grimmy actually lost his whole entire front left, so it looks like the curbs didn't really do him too much justice there. But hopefully they can do better. But the main contenders that we should really be focusing on here in this race, Battle Z Mini is ahead of the championship standings by a huge margin with 175 points. But close in second, third, and fourth is kind of a 3-way battle for that second place. We got Steve, RSI Markey, and F1 Farth. Steve with 149 points, RSI Markey with 143, and F1 Farth with 137, and even close behind him is actually Dundree's with 130, as he does have pole position so far. So a good turnout for him in this race, and hopefully a lot of points to go up on the the Drivers' Championship. When it comes to the constructors, though, it's Alpine ahead by almost 80 points. 80 points to the Mercedes team, actually. So pretty good turnout and pretty, really competitive between these drivers.
He's starting to get very ultra competitive, I must say. F1 Farf is invalidated his lap time when you were talking about the standings there, Justin. So he's on those mediums. I'm not sure if he's got the fuel. He probably does, as he invalidated at turn 1, so potentially he might have the fuel just as it's such a short track here, only 2.6 miles in length. So it's second shortest actually, Justin, to Monaco, actually, believe it or not.
Oh wow, that's actually it's actually kind of funny though, just hearing that these tracks are just so long. Mainly because where I'm from in Bermuda, the island itself is only 24 miles long. So basically, every single time these racers do a race, no matter what track they do, with the 50% race, they're basically driving the whole of my island. Like, it is just outstanding for me personally, just thinking about that. But
Yeah, no, I don't. Go on. Sorry.
sorry, no worries. Sorry, I thought I received a message from a weatherman, but we haven't just yet. We haven't received one just yet.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's pretty crazy for that, and I don't even live on a particularly big island compared to another island like Australia per se. But we're not going to talk about world geography or islands. That's very, very boring. We're going to talk about F1 Fast on his flying lap into the S's and see if he does get a clean one there. Got the McLaren of Wolsey off the track there as he comes into this grand old stadium section, also used for baseball as well. I think, Justin, it does have that sort of baseball type feel stadium as we come into the final corner, and there's a Red Bull, was that, I think, into the wall it was, of the new Dark Destroyer, who's really struggling and destroyed his own car. And F1 Fast goes 6th fastest on those medium tyres, and he's going to be looking pretty handy for this race, especially if he tries to get another lap in on those mediums or even goes to the softs, and he should be right up there. But don't underestimate Markey, Justin. He's also on those medium tyres, and Battle Mini has just set the fastest lap of a 15.8. These times are really starting to rocket down now.
Well, he's just continuously proving to everyone how he is the Drivers' Championship at this point in time. And to be honest, good on him. He is such a consistent driver, such a fast driver as well. Like, he is a true champion so far. He is a seriously champion. But let's actually talk about this track, actually. With the Mexican Grand Prix, you don't really need that much downforce in this track, to be honest, but especially with 3 DRS zones, and especially near the end in Sector 3, right after that 3rd DRS zone, you have the quick right, then left again, then right, and then the DRS detection zone. And that detection zone will help you with the first DRS zone, and also the second one right after that chicane.
Yeah, in the game you don't have to run very much downforce here because of these long straights, but did you know, Justin, in real life they have to run absolute maximum downforce here. It is Monaco spec downforce here, and I'm guessing you didn't know that, or did you know that?
I actually did not know. Well, remember, I'm still new to this, so.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's actually kind of interesting.
It's only because the Mexican Grand Prix is held 7,000 feet up, or 7,000 meters. I can't remember. I think it's 7,000 feet up, so the air is a lot thinner, and that's why they need greater downforce to compensate the lack of air.
Oh wow! I really never knew that at all. Kind of. Imagine if they actually did that in this game, and I've actually known a few people that are running the 3.7 wings. So if that was actually the case, imagine how much they would struggle in this race.
As we're seeing Jackie off the track, Justin, and trying to potentially play some sort of lawnmower simulator there, but he's now got himself back on the circuit and trying to make his way out of turn 3, and obviously he was only trying to get out of driver's ways, unless he's got no fuel, maybe? 'Cause he's going
it does look like it. Well, actually, no,
slow.
he's not going full throttle, so he is being very patient, which is a little bit odd. I don't know why he's being so patient. If he wanted to preserve any sort of fuel, he would have just done the race normally and just saved as much like stay on the low revs as possible to preserve as much gas as fuel as he could.
We've got Wolsey coming up, and he's going to get right in his way there, and he has. As we were talking about there, he now gets himself off the circuit. But very strange behaviour there from Jackie, as we see Wolsey coming into the S's. Starless in the other McLaren has taken a preliminary pole position as it stands, Justin, with just over a tenth, about a tenth and a 1.6 tenths up on Battle Mini there, and Dundrees is coming through the S's as well to start a lap. It's all getting towards the end of qualifying now. You'll be able to see these drivers finishing and starting their final laps as Grimmy does move down. McCanny is out of the session in 19th place. Hasn't set a lap, Justin, but a lot of drivers out on out laps at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of these drivers are trying to do the last minute lap time, to be honest, just to improve their time. And to be honest, it looks like Starless's teammate in the McLaren is trying to set a really fast time here. I'm actually staying with him a little bit. He is kind of he's not doing the best, of course, but I think he would, with this lap so far, he could be in contention with that top half, maybe even top 7. But let's just see, because even with these quick rights and lefts where he's at right now, just the throttle control on that is going to be detrimental to that car, and the tire wear definitely is going to eat a lot of rubber off of those tires.
It most certainly is, Justin. We've seen a lot of drivers now, around 10 of the drivers on their lap to have now finished. You can't actually see when they have finished the lap, only when they have started it. Steve has not been able to complete a lap there. You see him off the circuit. Our trusty Tuesday night partner for Justin there, who's off the circuit, and Richard has just got ahead of him. John Dries has just gone faster, Justin, with a 15.5.
Really good time for him. Really, really good time.
Joseph has just gone up to third as well for a 15.7, alongside the 15.7 of Starless, who is now back in the pit lane.
Oh, and actually, Jackie has been disqualified. So basically, he was going super slow during the actual race, and not the race, the qualifying. Yes, sorry, I'm just kind of starting over here. But yeah, he has been, with him going so slow during the track, he has been fully disqualified for being parked in a dangerous position. And not even just that, also 5-second grid penalty. Even though he was disqualified, he got a 5-second grid penalty for a collision with someone. So that's not going to be good on his part. That could, even though it doesn't really help him out because he is still starting in last place, it could potentially be some penalty points for him at the end of this Grand Prix. But the qualifying is finished, and we're going to be watching some of these last-minute drivers try and set some sort of lap time here.
Joseph has set another lap time, but not moved up any positions. Got a lot of drivers on laps now, Justin. We're going to see the last drivers cross the line. Got Michael crossing the line, stays 11th fastest. Got a Mercedes now into the pits, it seems, and that was Dundrees. Now we're going to be waiting for the next lot of drivers, which is Steve. He's the next man to finish qualifying. They're going in a nice steady order for me, Justin, to pick up all the drivers at the end of their laps, looking like a Ferrari. So next, Steve moves up to 6th.
Oh, Angry Dutch guy might get a good time here. 114, 115.
He was invalidated his lap time.
Oh, that's so upsetting, because he got a 115.9. So if that lap was not invalidated, he would have gone up from 14th to 6th. Well, actually 7th place, actually.
Richard is the last man to cross the line, does a 15.8, and that was a bit of an underwhelming end to qualifying, as a lot of the drivers did invalidate their lap times. Just going to be waiting for Faf now. See if he takes the pit lane or takes the flag. He's going to dive in to the pit lane. I'm not too sure if the game adds on tyre wear actually if you stay out this time. I'm not actually too sure, just something I've thought of there. Dopey Lemons, so Justin, is, no, sorry, F1 Faf is the only man starting on the mediums in the top 10. Everyone else, 9th and above, are starting on the soft tyres. We're going to see a big mix-up towards the back of the grid, Justin. Of course, only time will tell for that one.
Well, that's just also through pit strategy. Hopefully these drivers can communicate with their teammates about when to pit, just so they don't get like trapped in their own pit lane. But only the pit stop strategy will help them at this point if they start from the back, because with some of these lap times, especially with ones like Wolsey and Tomo on the softs, they're gonna really struggle.
Do you want to take us through the final order, Justin, or can you
Sure
see it
thing.
yet?
Yep, I see it. Winners in first place, taking pole position is Dundry. Second is Starless. Third is Yosef. Fourth is Richard. Fifth is Battle Mini. Sixth is Steve. I just dropped my phone. Seventh is RSI Marky. Eighth is me. Ninth is Dopey. 10th is Farth. 11th is Michael. 12th is Wolsey. 13th is Tomo. 14th is Angry Dutch Guy. 15th is Grimmy. 16th is Bijo. 17th is Mechanical. 18th is New Dark's Destroyer. 19th is Jackie, starting for the last place for being disqualified. I need a drink. Jesus, that was quick.
That was almost like race rundown from WTF1, if you've ever watched that.
I felt like there's what's it called? It's like, can I get a $5? Oh, there's a $10. Like, I forget what they're called actually.
I wouldn't be an auctioneer. That's the word you're
Auctioneer.
looking for.
Thank you.
Anyway, so after that little insight for Justin, we've been going all wrong the last couple of days. We've been really good for like 8 months, or I have anyway. I'm talking about myself, really. We've been really good for 8 months in the last 2 days. I've just sort of lost it. So we're just waiting for these drivers to sort out their race strategies, make any minor tweaks to their setups, and obviously it's going to be interesting to see what tyres 11th to 19th go on. Welcome to everyone who's joining, and looking forward to watching the stream. I have seen a few comments. Sorry, we've just been quite deep into qualifying for to be fair, I see it up on the screen, but I don't always see all your message. So if you do want to say something and it's quite long, do it in a couple of sections so I can see it. That'd be really helpful.
Actually, if you want, I do have to stream on my phone right now, so I can actually tell you some of the comments if you like.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, we've got a little bit of time.
So basically, we have Mr. Basil, aka Barry, saying. Actually, he was asking if he could join us in the comms, but I think it's a little. Well, if you want to join the midway, just let us know. But it's gonna be a little bit late, I believe.
If you want to ask Basil, if you still want to, if you want to join with us, mate, I'll invite you to the lobby. But I'll just do it, or Justin will, just after the start of the race, so we don't glitch. But just put a comment, say if you want to or not. Steve and Richard, but both the Alpines have been disqualified from this formation lap, and now 16th and 17th have also.
Yeah, a little bit odd, because them two actually have really good chemistry between each other, and just seeing that is a little bit outstanding between them two. I can potentially hear themselves potentially shouting at each other through the microphones. But as we are doing the formation lap, I would like to just say I hope you guys do enjoy this video. If you do, please leave a like, and if you do see yourselves coming back more than once or on a regular, please consider clicking the subscribe button. It is completely free, and if you don't want to miss any of our content for Limitless DxT coverage for any of these esports races, we also have races on Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays for those night races. and also we do cover the SRM esports during Wednesdays as we are right now. But if you don't want to miss any of that, make sure you hit the bell and make sure that it's full so you're notified every time that we are streaming any of these races. So again, I hope you guys enjoy. We are about to start this Mexican Grand Prix as Dundrees comes around the final turn and sees 4 disqualified cars ahead of him.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to maneuver around all of those cars.
Just quickly, Justin, as we can see on our screens, we didn't actually talk about it. So from 11th backwards, just very quickly, only one man starting on the hard tyre. That is Grimmy on the white tyre in the white car of the Haas. There's a few drivers on the mediums, 3, 4, 5 to be precise, and then a few drivers, 3 on the softs. We're just waiting for those drivers to form up on the grid, just get everything ready. I hate the start of these races with the lights, and we've got 3, 4, 5 red lights. Dundrees is on pole, and we're away for SRM Racing here at the Mexican Grand Prix, and Dundrees got a good start, and there's a good start there. Justin from Smee in the background is now moved up into 4th place. It's weaving and moving all over the straight down towards turn 1, the longest run on the calendar as we get in to the chicanes of turns 1, 2 and 3, and it looks like it's been pretty good. We've got a yellow flag in the background. There is a driver falling down. It's Dopey Lemons, who was right up there at the start of this race, and he's now fallen back at the turn 1 to 3 chicanes. We run through the turn 4 and 5 into this tight small stadium section. Good gains there for Smee with that excellent start. And did you catch what happened? And Richard is now out as well, Justin.
There's been a lot of car bangings. There's been a lot of front wing damage, possibly rear wing damage or gearbox damage at that point. But when it came to that chicane after the second DRS zone, I saw a little bit of brake check. Well, not brake checking, but people braking a little bit late and crashing into cars. So that's not going to be a turnoff for them. So we could see a lot of early pit stoppers. But I'm looking at the pit stop strategy. So I hope they might change. If there's a soft runners and they got damaged, they might change to the hards. But only time will tell at this point. And one person that actually went really low down the pecking order from the beginning was Josef Rados 10. Sorry, I don't know how to say that last bit. Well, but he went down to 14th actually, and because of all of those complications ahead of him, he actually went up to 8th. So starting a little bit of a comeback, but we'll just have to see. And looks like we have a lot of close battles, especially for 4th place actually, with R10, Marky, Michael, and Steve behind him, and also we have a battle for 2nd place. Oh, Starless almost loses it actually. A lot of glitching on my end.
Saying that, Smee lost it and got himself a 3-second time penalty for a consequence of that as well, with Marky breathing down his neck. And Smee had made up 4 places, but was the first man to gain some penalties. Obviously, we've only had one driver out, which is Richard. We've got Jackie right at the very back and is certainly struggling. We've got a yellow flag in the middle sector. Right, that new Dark Destroyer has lost his front wing there.
Yep, it is completely gone. At least he's a little bit near the the pit stop, but he still has quite a way to go. And also Jack really far behind, with him actually making a stop at the beginning of this. And now DRS has been enabled, so we could see a change between Starless and Battle Z Mini.
As you see, Michael, sorry, it's going to go down the inside there. And Marky's losing it out. Smee's losing out on Marky, and it looks like he's going to lose out to Steve as well in the Alpine in a second. He's just getting swarmed by fellow drivers as we come down to the run towards turn 4. No moves there for Steve, and Joseph is not too far behind them.
Well, it was a really good communication between the two Aston Martins, timing that overtake to perfection as Speed goes down 2 positions and going pretty wide, so Steve is actually getting a better line through these turns. So later on, he could potentially get an overtake.
Oh,
and actually,
Smee
has gone off, and now he's gone down 2 more positions as both Joseph and Steve have gone up positions. Now Tomo gets a 3-second time penalty. What a start to this race, to be honest.
It's quite an exciting start. We're on board with the Alfa Romeo drivers who come out of the stadium section. Fastest lap for the Aston Martin driver. With a 1:18.06.
Oh, hold up! You might want to go back up the pecking order. Battle Z Mini is gonna give a little challenge to Starless on the outside of turn 1. Actually, he does not. It was pretty close there. Yosef gets an overtake on Steve. But on this DRS zone, it could happen.
We're just sticking with Battle Mini there, and he was just trying to give himself the best line possible for the overtake, but he's not been able to get enough of a run there down towards turn 4. I was just seeing angry Dutch guy go past Tomo Tip Top there and trying to stay in F1 fast rear view mirrors, as you saw them, of course, have an incident a few weeks ago back at the Singapore Grand Prix, Justin.
Yep. Actually, what happened there, if some of the viewers don't remember, was he did spin out on the final turn, like near midway of the race, and his car was actually stuck on the track for the longest time. But yeah, once he left the game, the car actually did get taken off the track. So the marshals got to it, but it was like really late. I'm just glad that no one crashed because of that. But the thing is with Battle Z Mini, he is super low on the ERS, but he has the DRS and the slipstream. He takes a look on the outside of turn 1, and he is a full car ahead. And now let's see if Michael gets the job done, because he's also going to have DRS. Starless is going a little bit aggressive,
he's that spin, and it looks like he saved it, but he hasn't been able to save that 4th place. That was quite lucky for the McLaren driver.
Very lucky for him. That could have been huge for the other drivers, for the drivers championship. But now I think right now we should go back later on in the grid, as Dopey and Tomo are getting pretty close with those times, and same thing with RSI Markey catching up to Starless from that spin out. So we have a lot of battles through the track, even with Steve and Joseph. Oh, Steve has the DRS. Is he going to look on the outside? No, Joseph closes the door, and Steve is going to be a little bit more patient, waiting for the first DRS zone. And it looks like Dundrees is having a clean race, a whole 3 seconds ahead. But of course, ahead of him now is new Dark Destroyer, as he did spin out and has gone down the pecking order.
Well, of course, he's been able to gain a bit of a gap by Battle Mini and Starless, of course, having the initial fight, and now Michael and RSI Markey also trying to get involved, and Michael is going to go to the inside at turn 1, and they're going to try and fight through into 2. No, he just closes the door there right at the last second, but nice defending there from Michael, and looks like Battle Mini might be a sitting duck here, with Starless looking to the inside as well. And he's leaving the doors wide open here, but he's going to try and hold on the inside of turn 5. Keeps the position. Now Markey's going to try and get involved into this, and there's contact between the two of them, and Markey is round. And around on the apex, just gets out of the way in time. New Dark Destroyer is out. That could cause a safety car, and it has.
That is very unfortunate for the Aston Martin of RSI Markey. But actually, hold on. He's not the reason that it was a safety car. New Dark Destroyer is out of this race. He has crashed.
That's what I said.
Right ahead. Sorry about that. The mic was glitching out on my end. But
okay.
Actually, one battle that you did miss that I know that he's gonna be talking to me after this about why I didn't cover it. Steve and Joseph actually got a really good battle at the beginning of that 6th lap. As now Steve is coming into the pit, same as Joseph. It was a back and forth battle, but I know he's probably going to save that. And actually, Joseph gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
When Dundrees goes out on the mediums, Michael is on the medium as well, and now gone up to 2nd place with Battle Mini on the softs. Grimmy is moving up on those hard tyres. He's going to take 2nd place. And see how that works out from only 6 laps on those hard tyres, so he's got still quite a long way to go with those, and he might cause a little bit of chaos, Justin, in the preceding laps after the safety car.
Yes, it might turn to that. But the thing is, Grimmy is actually been very patient at the beginning of this race, done very well so far as he's gained 13 positions, started in 15th place and he's made his way up to second. Amazing stuff from him. But the thing is, can he hold back the big names of Michael, Battlesy, Mini, Starless, and Steve right behind him, and potentially RSI marking an F1 Farth if once they catch up from the safety car restart? And to be honest with you, I don't see that happening at all. I think he's still going to go down the pecking order. Not even just from skill, but also because he is on the harder compound.
Hmm. So we're just going to be probably doing another. We'll just see where Jackie is. He's just coming into turn 4 now, but I got the feeling that is an AI car and not him in it, I would guess. There's a migrating host there. It looks like Steve has left the session, and that might not be good.
I will shoot him an invite.
That is, thanks for that. I was just watching Dundrees at the moment in first place. Just watching the Mercedes safety car coming out of the final corner, starting another lap of lap 8, and more than likely we'll be getting away again at the end of this lap. So you may see a lot of these drivers weaving down the straights, trying to get a bit of temperature into the tyres. We're just waiting for the last driver who's coming out of the final corner, and some of the drivers are now weaving on the straight just to get a little bit of temp in those tyres. Just seeing the position change. Obviously Grimmy up 13 places. Michael is up at a lot of places as well and has made his pit stop, so he's certainly having a very good race so far.
He has done very well so far, representing his team very well. But the thing is, right now, actually, it's not working for me to invite Steve. It's kind of glitching out on my end, saying that an error has occurred. So hopefully someone else is going to be able to get Steve back in this lobby, but it's not going to be me.
Yeah, it's done it for me as well.
Very unfortunate. Oh, and he has rejoined. Oh, hallelujah.
That's good, and just about in time as well, actually, seeing as I think that safety car is going to be called in a few seconds' time. A lot of these drivers, though, are in AI mode, which I know they're allowed to do here in SRM Esports, but obviously no opportunity to warm up their tyres. So surely that's what they'll now be doing, is the lights have gone out on that safety car and we're about to get underway again on to lap 9. A bit of a mix-up in strategies. Watch to see Battle Mini having to do a really aggressive strategy now, Justin, on those soft tyres. He's most certainly stopping here. See if any of these drivers can... we've got 5-second penalties for collisions. That is not good whatsoever, and there was a little bit of a lag there, a bit of a delay from the leader there, and now we are racing again. Steve has moved up a position. We're looking at Battle Mini, who then has to go aggressive, and it looks like he's going to go 3 wide into turn 1, or not. He does eventually back out of it, as now he goes past Grimmy, who is a bit helpless on those hard tyres against the fresh softs, and a driver of Grimmy is now falling down, and that really wasn't a good shout for him there. He's now falling down to the back of the grid. We'll go back to the top with Steve and Starless fighting for position. Is Steve going to try the cutback? There he is, but only a short run to the next corner. Just enough space given there, potentially. Had to cut the corner slightly. Farth is very, very close behind Justin, and looking to get involved in the action for this fight for 4th. His Battle Mini is just starting to get ahead a little bit.
He is starting to gain a little bit. He's starting to give a little bit of a gap to the drivers behind him. Well, to the drivers ahead of him as well. But the only thing is... Oh, actually, Steve has gone really slow off of that turn. And now that Red Bull right behind him is closing in. Getting very close. Let's see what happens during this straightaway here. No DRS has not been enabled just yet. It might be in about next lap's time. So basically all they're going to have to do is a drag race at this point.
We're just watching the front three as there is action in the midfield between some of these drivers of Starless, Steve and F1 Farth, and looks like Steve has come off top for the time being. Farth is off the track and trying to force his way back on as he has got the right to do so, and now takes that 5th place and is just sitting behind Steve now. Starless is not going to want to give up that place so easily, and it looks like Markey is round again and causing himself to spin quite a lot. 5-second time penalty there for corner cutting, as a more severe penalty. He did cut the corner quite significantly, but he did have a spin, so this game can be a little harsh at times, but still very, very close racing going on. Still 17 drivers in this race on lap 10, and Dundrees is still leading this race.
Yes, but it looks like with the battles, it looks like we have a 4-way battle, but right behind Steve, as he has 3 cars, and F1 Farth, Starless, and I believe that is a Haas behind him, getting very close. Is that a Haas or is that an Alfa Romeo?
It's a Alfa Romeo behind Starless. Sometimes it is a little hard to tell when they're sort of nose on, as we're just seeing Joseph coming down the start finish, trying to get a toe off that McLaren, but nothing optimal enough to have any chance of any sort of overtake into turn 1. So we come out of turn 3 now and on the run towards turn 4. DRS is enabled, but the activation point is before turn 1. Michael is going up into 2nd. He is battling with Battle Mini on those soft tyres. He's causing him a huge amount of problems as he wanted to be catching up with Dundrees, and Dundrees is having that same perfect situation here, Justin, with the 2 drivers behind fighting for position and Michael getting a time penalty.
Very unfortunate for Michael. He's done very well so far. Hopefully he can keep it up and just shrug that off. But the thing is, a lot of people up the top actually have time penalties. So maybe they could potentially be taken off because most of them were those 5-second during the safety car, the collision during the safety car. So they could potentially see if they can get those taken off. But F1 Farth is getting very close to the rear ring of Steve, and he potentially could get the position here.
And Battle Mini as well. We'll keep an eye on the front ones first. This Battle Mini looks like he's going to breeze past an F1 Fast. It's going to breeze past Steve, as you could see there. Is there going to be any fight back from Steve, do we think, Justin, towards turn 4? He won't have DRS to aid him though.
He won't, but the thing is, he has more ERS than F1 Farth. But the thing is, F1 Farth, especially with this truck, he actually is pretty good on turnings, like timing the turns, getting on the apexes, getting the best one of the best lines in Mexico. So I don't see Steve battling him just yet. Possibly later on if there is a collision up ahead, but only time will tell at this point. But Battle Z Mini is actually closing in on Dundrees, as he is on the softs and Dundrees is on the mediums.
As we can see it, Justin, there's a lot of penalties being racked up, as you can see on your screens now. There's only a few drivers without penalties, and F1 Farth is one. As you're seeing the angry Dutch guy there, Dopey Lemons and Smee, the 2 Alpha Toweries are fighting together for 9th and 10th, and 8th, 7th and 8th are the Alfa Romeos, so that might become a little bit of a tongue twister in a minute, Justin, as we're seeing them coming down the start finish.
Well, it looks like Smee might get a overlap on his teammate Dopey. If Dopey was smart, he would just let him through. He does have the pace. He looks on the inside. He has a whole car ahead now. And looks like the same thing went with Angry Dutch Guy and Joseph. Oh, but Smee goes wide off of that DRS zone, and now Dopey is ahead. But the thing is, Smee has the DRS, but he's not going to activate it. He's going to let his teammates stay ahead of him. Very smart for that AlphaTauri of Smee. Very smart decision there, not to use the DRS and battle his teammate to that chicane and just let him through. Amazing communication between them two, and good instincts on Smee's part.
So we are on lap 13, Justin. We've seen Starless get a penalty. We're going to see a lot of these because of this S's section is a bit ruthless on the track limits, and it's a pretty easy place to make some overtakes. Some mistakes, sorry, not overtakes. Some mistakes, and it's not the most tricky of tracks, but that is certainly the hardest section. As you said to me earlier, Justin, about the curb, it's a bit curb friendly, this circuit, compared to most others on the F1 2021 game.
Yeah, it really is, because it's just because of the elevation of those curbs. They're like almost as flat as the ground, but it looks like Tomo is going to get an overtake on Wolsey. Wolsey's going down, and also it looks like Markey is going to have some opportunity shooting on the inside. Doesn't get a double overtake. He does not. It's a little bit of a collision between him and Tomo, but our side Markey is also going to have the DRS again. Wolsey's going to keep on going down the pecking order. But yeah, it was very aggressive between them two. RSA Markey was just over ambitious, shooting on the inside of that first turn, and it could be talked after this. Hopefully, Tomo didn't get any underplay damage, but F1 Farth actually broke the silence and has gotten himself his first penalty of this Mexican Grand Prix. 3 seconds has been added to his name, but let's see if he can pick it up.
Wolsey has spun round Justin. Sorry, he's in 14th place and now lost it to Jackie and Remy, and he's now down in 15th place. And he's saying about penalties, the top 12 have all now got penalties, and Smee has added another one to his name. The field is starting to spread out towards the front a little bit more, Justin.
It has spread out a little bit more, but to be honest with you, as it stands right now, the leader of this race is Michael.
Oh, sorry.
He just has to stay.
As Angry Dutch guy tries to go around the outside there at turn 1, and he does get the move done. That was an expert move there. Starless didn't really have any battery to play with there, and he is trying to get in the toe, and no DRS for him. It was DRS for the man ahead. This is only the one activation zone out of the final corner, or in the stadium section. Even yellow flag there for Jackie, I think, because we see Joseph is going to try and want to do the same thing his teammate did a few moments ago.
Well, if he's going to do it, he's going to have to do it later on, after like near the middle of the second sector. But the thing is about Starless, he sees himself in a quite a tough predicament at this point, as he is in an Alfa Romeo sandwich here. Looks like he's going to be representing the mustard in that relationship in the McLaren. But the thing is,
does look like it.
The thing is, with him, he has to keep it up. He is within that DRS zone, and he doesn't have that much battery. And same goes with Angry Dutch guy. We're definitely going to see an overtake here.
Yeah, he's using whatever he's got left. And
the only thing is, though, with him doing that, the only thing is, with him doing that, Joseph is actually also going to have DRS, and it's going to even close the gap even more now. But even though... go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say he has a lot more battery to play with as well, so he'll be able to challenge Starless a lot easier, I would imagine.
I don't believe so, to be honest. Angry Dutch guy does seem to be the faster out of the two. For this track, it looks like he is the #1 driver, but it looks like now Starless is getting quite a bit of a gap between them two now, having a better exit, and just having a better line between these quick S's. And we do have a caution, and it looks like it is Dopey Lemons. Loses his whole entire front wing.
Hit the wall twice there. Hit it again for good measure.
And crashes through. he crashes through the aero barriers as well. So he is not a happy camper in that AlphaTauri, and now he is struggling just to stay on the track. And it looks like Angry Dutch guy is in... Well, actually, no, he's in the pits. But it looks like... Is that Grimmy? It looks like Grimmy. No, not Grimmy. His teammate, actually. Mechanical is now out of this race as he has crashed. And, well, he was lapped, so I didn't see him improving his time at all. But it's just upsetting just to see that on the track. I'm surprised. Actually, it's not going to be a safety car. So that's a little bit surprising. Looks like the Marshals is going to get that car out of the way before Dundries gets there, hopefully. But, yeah, no safety car as it stands right now, Joe.
No, which is a bit of a surprise, but I'm sure the drivers towards the front who we're with now, with Michael, are certainly going to be happy about that, because they're in a little bit of a groove. And Colin Spencer, he lost it in the S's, struggled with grip the whole race. So there you go. I think that was the Haas driver that just went out there. We're watching. We're now watching Starless lose a couple of positions and his front wing as well. And he's almost at the pit lane, so it's not going to be such a hindrance for him, as it's only a few corners. Tomo Tip Top though is going to want to get past as soon as possible. So we get back to the front, Justin. Only 4/10 separate second and third, and the gap to first is only 1.7 seconds now, so not so comfortable for Dundrees, but has led every lap of this race so far.
Yes, but I'm actually looking through, and it looks like the tire wear on sorry, I just got a notification, so I can't really see the name at this point. Battle Z Mini. It looks like the tires on Battle Z Mini is taking a toll on his car, and especially his lap times now, because he is struggling just to keep pace with Dundrees, and now he's going really, really slow, going down even slower and slower. So it looks like he's really struggling. And I'm actually looking on the front right. Looks like the inside of that front right tire does not look good whatsoever. And now Michael is closing the gap now. So if Battle Z Mini was smart, he would pit right now and go on a set of mediums or maybe hards. But he's going to stay out. He's going to preserve as much as he can. But he's still struggling. As with the previous laps, he was going pretty quick.
He's probably going to be under threat from Michael here as well, as he has a lot more battery. There's the recharge light on the back of the Ferrari, and he's definitely going to lose that position. And F1 Fast is not too far in the background. Is this the clouds? It's starting to fog up here a little bit, Justin. It was a bright, sunny sky when we started, and now it's really fogging up. It's almost quite hard to see some of these drivers, I must say. So we've just seen Tomo Tiptop come into the pits. And the field is most certainly spread out towards the front. We'll go towards the back. Is Dopey Lemons has got Jackie and Starless just behind him. Starless fell all the way down to 15th place after that front wing change, and he's probably going to overtake Jackie very, very easily here. As he does, Michael gets himself a 3-second time penalty, and he's now going to be trying to hunt down Dopey Lemons just ahead of him. As you see, Dundree's now coming to the final few corners, and he looks like he might be under threat here from Michael very, very soon.
I actually don't think so. I was looking at the time differences between these drivers, and actually, yeah, with Battle Z Mini, you can definitely tell the difference.
Battle Z Mini is now coming back. I think he's going to go for a move here, Justin. He just backed out of it.
You just had to say something, didn't you, Joe?
Sorry.
But yeah, he is being a little bit patient, because when it comes to him, his tires are not going to be able to withstand that braking zone. As when it came to the 17th lap, he was setting a pretty consistent 1.19.6, but now he's in the 1.20.2 and is just increasing at that point. So the tire wear is definitely taking a toll on him. And it looks like the fog has now gone away and it's bright and sunny, unless I'm just seeing things. But
no, it is.
But now Michael is closing the gap a little bit. But the thing is, with him closing the gap, he is gaining himself time penalties. So it's kind of a bittersweet situation with him.
Steve just grabs himself another penalty there. Justin Smee is on the edge of the limit there through the S's. He's following RSI Markey in 7th place, and Smee is of course in 8th place, so about to come through the stadium. Battle is now in the pits. That was not the strategy that he probably thought was going to happen or wanted to happen. He's going to go falling down the order. I think he's not too sure. He had a 5-second time penalty to serve as well. Goes out on the mediums now, so he's got a fresh set to the end. I don't know if Angry Dutch Guy is going to pass him. I don't think so. I think he's very, very comfortably out in 8th place. He's got a bit of a way to catch up to Smee, though.
And F1 just barely gets out of that line, and that's gonna give him another 3-second time penalty. We have time only 4 drivers don't have time penalties at all, and 2 of them are actually the Ferraris of Bowsy Mini and DK Bijo. But the thing about Bowsy Mini, he has to improve his position if he wants to keep the lead. Well, actually, hold on. These drivers are ahead of him are on 10 plus old lap tires, and Bowsy Mini has come out on the mediums actually. So he could potentially take him back up the pecking order once these drivers make a pit stop, and usually the average pit stop time here is around 22 seconds, so we could see him end up in 3rd, or potentially in 4th, coming out of the pit lane, but only later on you will see when that happens.
We were just watching before, Justin. We were watching the battle for like 14th place here between Grimmy and Jackie, and they're certainly trying to put on a good show here. As Grimmy potentially looked to the inside there at the right hander into the stadium section. Jackie did somewhat look like he was taking a defensive line there. Keep an eye on the top drivers. 1.6 seconds is the gap to the top, and far is not too far behind as we're coming out the final corner with Grimmy as they move themselves on to lap 22 and make a move on Jackie here with ease with the aid of that DRS. The only issue here with Mexico, it's such a long start-finish straight that it's almost too easy. The DRS straight I think here should be a little bit shorter. Probably would make it a little bit better. Dundrees is in the pits, Justin.
Well, I'm actually going to have to disagree with you with that one. Instead of making it shorter, I'd say start it a little bit earlier than where it is, because you pass the finish line and then you have like about maybe 1 second right after that to actually start the DRS. If that was like a little bit before, then I would rather have it there. But of course, instead of that, they kept it within the starting line. So, and it's actually kind of interesting. The starting line is actually further ahead than the finish line of this race.
Yeah, that usually happens on most tracks, all tracks.
Well, it was same with Monza, isn't it?
Yeah, it's what are you on about? The DRS line? I'm a bit confused what you're on about.
No, so basically the starting line and then the finishing line. So like the starting line is actually up ahead from the actual finish line.
What, where the lights are?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. The start finish line is usually quite a bit behind the actual start line for the race, the grid start, because they need the room. I don't know why it's like that, but that's just usually the way it is. Just seen Angry Dutch Dopey Lemons just get past DK Joe there.
Made it easy, to be honest with you. Made it easy on him because DK Joe did not battle whatsoever. But the thing is, Smee is struggling on those hards right now just to time the braking zones. And because of that, he is now out of DRS zone compared to RSI Marquez. So RSI Marquez is going to have a jolly good time up ahead as Smee's right wing is not going to open. So now RSI Marquez is in the clear of that battle. But only for now. Later on, we could definitely see something happening. And actually, as I said, at Battle Z Mini, I actually didn't see. Battle Z Mini got a time penalty, actually.
Angry Dutch guy hit the wall just in. He's now into the pit lane. He was in 9th place, and certainly, there you go, just about to lose it. Now drops down to 10th. Joe's going to take that away from him as well. So he's going to go falling down. Not sure where. Quite far down, actually. Maybe 15th place at a guess. He's just come out of the box now and he's coming to the end, and I think he's going to potentially be battling here with Wolsey as he comes out of the pits. As you just see Wolsey there on the outside, and Angry Dutch guy is going to go defensive. Is Wolsey going to have a go there? That was very close to him into turn 1, but Angry Dutch guy takes 14th place. Farth is now into the pits, Justin, so only Michael now left.
Well, it looks like Steve is having some connectivity issues, and because of that, Joseph has a clear overtake on him as he did enter basically AI mode and is now. And actually, he's just rejoined, so he's struggling a lot with the connectivity. Just hopefully he joins after a turn, so he doesn't mess up his lining, or else he cannot battle Joseph. Very unfortunate for Steve. He is a very good driver, and a better commentator than I am, in my opinion. But now he is back. He is back to racing, and hopefully he can battle Joseph for that second place. But them two still yet to pit, so I still think Battle Z Mini is basically still leading this race. Actually, never mind. F1 Farth actually is now ahead of him, and now he's going to battle Dundries just up ahead. So we could see F1 Farth take first place position once the drivers ahead pit and then exit.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting now. As I said, Steve and Michael goes for another lap, and it's a bit too long to suggest he's going to stick on his tyres to the end. He is going to have to pit, so it's probably going to be this lap. Dundries has been held up by Smee, and F1 Farth is really wanting to get past the pair of them on these soft tyres. Smee now comes into the pits, and it's an opportunistic move there from F1 Farth.
Oh, it's a drag race.
But yeah,
they both have DRS. They both have DRS. It's a serious drag race between these two.
So they're both low on battery, and now Dundries is going to fight for that inside line, going to make Farth try and go around the long way, almost squeezes him off the track. We know Farth can be quite aggressive. It looks like he's getting a little taste of his own medicine here as we're coming out of turn 3 towards turn 4. They've broken out DRS once again. Is Dundries going to force him to the end? Oh, there's a bit of a touch there between the two of them.
A little bit of a nudge.
Dundries is going to let him go past, but is he going to get the switch back into turn 4 or turn 5? Sorry, and he doesn't. He lets Farth go through, but he's not going to give this up without a fight. He hasn't got any time penalties, as Dundries. He's been keeping it squeaky clean this race, and we know that if you do keep it on the black stuff and don't get yourself any time penalties, it can really gain you
Michael's
a lot of success. And Michael is into the pits. Smee gets another time penalty, 3-second time penalty. Markey is coming around the hairpin. Michael goes on to the softs, and we're just seeing Farth come around the final corner. I think these two are going to go ahead, but this is going to be interesting, I would say, actually, as you're seeing Farth now going to try and overtake RSI Markey, and Dundries is just gone through as well. Michael's just joined the back of this queue of cars, and this is going to get very interesting to the end of this race, Justin. I must say, I think this could be, even if Battle Mini can make up some ground, but I think he just went for the wrong strategy call going on to those.
Tomo has spun. Sorry, Tomo has spun and has lost his position. But actually, if we're looking at it right now, Dundries is leading this race because RSA Markey has 8 seconds of penalties and F1 Farth has 6. So if it ends like this, Battle Z Mini is going to go up to second, Dundries will have first, and then third is going to be F1 Farth. So F1 Farth has to get as much of a gap as he can, but Dundries is staying on that gas pedal and is staying as close to that time penalty as he can. But the thing is, he has 9 laps left to go in this Mexican Grand Prix. So only time will tell at this point who wins this, but right now is Dundries.
And Dundries is potentially going to lose the position here. If F1 Farth sets the fastest lap, he wants that extra point. The Aston Martin is going to go through, and my guess is that Markey may just let him by the next straight potentially, and not wanting to hold the Aston Martin driver up as he's going to try and catch up to F1 Farth. And I think this is just going to be some team orders going on here, and there we go. Michael now moves up into second, and Markey's job now is to hold off Dundries for as long as possible. The tactics for the Aston Martin team are very, very simple. Keep your nose clean and let Michael gain some advantage over Dundries. But we now have a yellow flag and it looks like a Mercedes. Tomo Tip-Top is really not liking this Mexican track in Mexico City. He's going to have to bail into the pits. Does it very late though, jumps over the curbs. And don't know about you, Justin, I'm going to love to see this fight between Markey and Dundrees for this third place. And Dundrees has now got a 3-second time penalty.
Oh, that's going to hit him hard there. Michael actually sets the fastest lap, so we could see him definitely battling F1 Farth. If he keeps this up, if he stays consistent, Dundrees gets the overtake on RSI Markey but during the DRS zone into turn 1. But Michael is closing the gap to F1 Farth. And if F1 Farth was looking at this, I bet you he's going to be a little bit more aggressive on these turns and potentially get a time penalty. That's how I'm seeing this going. But the thing is, Michael has to be a little bit patient, but still be aggressive, which he has done for the majority of this race. Amazing stuff from him. And since we're getting to the near of this Mexican Grand Prix, let's start talking about driver of the day, Joe.
Yeah, so for me at the minute, just on terms of like the fights and things we've been seeing, I'd say Michael in the Aston Martin with actually on board at the moment. He was trying to hunt down that race leader of F1 Farth. He's been putting on a good show for me today, I'd say. I sort of at the moment as it stands.
I couldn't agree more. He has done amazing just to get back up to that front grid. He might set another fastest lap time here, but well, he does not. But the thing is, he is still keeping that pace. But the thing is, once Michael, I can see it happening. Once Michael actually gets the overtake on F1 Farth, his next job is get 3 seconds ahead of him, and that's going to be a tough battle.
Unless Farth consequently gets another 3-second time penalty, which of course is certainly possible, but that would mean Michael not making any more mistakes in this race. There is only 6.5 laps to go or so in this race as we're coming through turn 4 now. So this little stadium section here, there's a lot of twists and turns in this Mexican Grand Prix circuit, especially in this S section where it has been so damaging for drivers on penalties here. As you've seen Michael go wide through that section. Of course, this is the fight for the lead now you're watching with 1.7 seconds the gap. The closest battle on track at the moment, Justin, is the fight for 13th. As you're actually seeing them come out the final corner, it's Haas versus Alfa Romeo, and I'm sure this is going to be easy pickings for the angry Dutch guy with DRS enabled, and he gets the job done there with Smee getting another time penalty. He's up to 26 seconds. He's on the verge of being disqualified from this race now. Joseph, of course, in the Alfa Romeo, Justin, he's looking in a pretty good position here, I must say, with no penalties. He can maybe making a jump or two, but he does need to be getting a little bit more pace out of him in that car to maybe potentially make up some good places, as we're seeing Dundrees and Dundrees overtaking a lap car there. The lap car wasn't giving him a huge amount of space. There is ghosting enabled here at SRM ESports, so don't panic. That is not a mistake. It's different rules. I sometimes worry about that myself. 1.2 seconds now separates the front two. It's got a time penalty. I called it. He's got it. So the race is now on. The gloves are now going to come off between these two, and Michael is going to get a sudden urge now. And
I think Michael's also going to get DRS because of Jackie as well, being a back runner.
Yeah.
Let's see. Does he have it?
I think he will do. We'll see in just a second. He
does.
And that is going to give him a massive aid. I think he needs to use what little battery he has left, potentially, or might not. It's just gaining him somewhat of an advantage. They're both right on the limit of battery, and he's getting within that 1 second window now. He's got another DRS straight, Justin, to gain up some more time. We might have a real fight for the win here as that timer is starting to come down there, even on penalties. Dundrees behind us, only 3 seconds. Keep an eye on him on that one. He's 6 and a bit seconds behind the Justin, and my maths isn't great, but I don't think he's going to win it with that, as it stands.
I'm gonna have to agree with you there. Dundries is still falling down, and with him being on the medium compound compared to Michael and F1 Farth on the softs, he is going to be struggling. But potentially later on this race, because it will be 10 laps old on those on F1 Farth's softs specifically, so he might struggle later on, and that's going to give Michael an opportunity to take that first place position. And honestly, if he does, well done to him, because he truly deserves it. As we're coming around the final turn of the end of lap 32, start of lap 33, Michael is going to have DRS, and he's going to have to slipstream. He's not going to use any of his battery. He's going to preserve it for when it truly matters later on in this race.
I think that's sensible, though. I think just use the aid of the DRS. It's like you're using overtake without DRS. In that sense, in that mindset, you will save up a bit of battery and go for a 1 or 2 lap attack with maybe 20-30% of battery. We don't usually put the MFD screen up, but we will just do it now. So he's got 24% battery, 10 more than his rival ahead of him. We'll keep an eye on that for the rest of this race. We're on lap 33 of 36 here at SRM ESports, and we're coming down to the final moments between these two equal on time penalties. Grimmy getting another 3 seconds added to his name. He's up to 21. He's getting close to that disqualification range. Battle Mini is close behind Michael's teammate, who we're still riding with, and there might be an overtake from him, but as you will agree, you're going to want to see who's going to win this race, and hopefully this is going to go down to the final lap. And I think a little bit of bluffing and tactics are going to come into play now, Justin, including battery and all of those things, as he's just on the edge of the DRS window, but he's going to get it. But is Farth got it from the back marker? No, he didn't, and that's going to be a bit of a problem for him. He's losing a little bit of time, is Michael, but he's not panicking just yet, just trying to save up that battery as much as he can, I think. He's in within 6 tenths or so now. Go on, sorry, Marky's getting...
Bowsy Mini actually gets the overtake on RSI Marquis, as Bowsy Mini has used all of his battery to get that overtake done. But the thing is, Michael was actually getting a little bit of a gap to F1 Farth, because F1 Farth at that point was completely out of ERS. But now he's up to 20%, and RSI Marquis is closing in the gap. And Dundries I believe Dundries is completely out of that front two contention at this point.
These two in front cannot afford to make any more track limit mistakes. And I say that, Michael just went off the track, but he didn't lift off. And that's the one crucial thing about track limits on this game. Make sure you lift off quite considerably, probably 70%. You're more than likely not to get yourself a warning or consequentially a time penalty. There's 6 tenths between the two of them. Starless getting enough another penalty, not reading the memo on the lifting off on the edge of the circuit there. Michael is now within 6 tenths still, not using any battery. Of course, he will be deploying a little bit, and a little bit more than Farth, because he's right down, and Farth is breaking the toe. And Justin, this is going to come down to the very last lap. I have a horrible feeling that Farth is just going to be a sitting duck now on the next straight, on the next time they come onto the start-finish straight. But don't look away, folks, because this might be the best last lap you've ever seen. We know that F1 Farth can get his elbows out, and he's going to try and get them out as far as possible into the final lap, and it's going to be a tall order for him.
It is going to be a tall order for him, especially with him having 2 lap older softs, so he's going to really struggle with the tire, especially with it being a bright and sunny day. On the black stuff is definitely going to be super hot, and it's going to give a lot of tire wear to those softs, especially during those S turns. And Michael is still closing in. He's still staying as close to that rear wing as possible, and we could potentially see an overtake here as they're super close. F1 Farth's going to be using a lot of his ERS, I can definitely guarantee that, but I think
they both are.
Michael's going to be shooting it now. This is his one shot, his one opportunity
The rear wing, the rear light is flashing below that rear wing. He's going to try it now. He's going to go to the outside. He's going to have to go the long way round, but gets it done before the braking zone. And I don't think F1 Farth is going to have anything to fight back with. Of course, he's going to get DRS once again onto this next straight. I'm going to be using that battery potentially. Farth is trying to keep up, but it's looking more and more unlikely. The lap is starting to close in. The end of this race is starting to close in. There are back markers ahead. Of course, there is ghosting in this game. That would bring a whole new element to this final lap if there hadn't have been ghosting, which is a bit of a shame for us. That would have made it a little bit more exciting, but I suppose it's a little bit safer for these front drivers. Farth almost loses it there through the S's. He's really on the raggedy edge as he comes around the S's. He's got this one DRS straight, but it isn't going to be anywhere near long enough. 5/10. Is he going to go for a lunge into the hairpin? He's going to have to try it somehow. No, he's just a bit too irresponsible. The fireworks are starting to go. We did say about 4 or 5 laps ago that Michael would be our driver of the day. He certainly is now our driver of the day. See the McLaren into the wall, but Michael takes the flag and wins the Mexican Grand Prix. What a drive from the Aston Martin driver there, moving up 10 places, and most certainly a driver of the day. A round of applause there from Justin. Farth takes the flag in second. Dundrees, who led most of this race, came home in third in the end. He rolled the dice on a different strategy and it just didn't work. And Battlemini comes home in fourth. 5th place for Markey, great points. Or 6th place now as Joseph goes through into 5th. Of course, he didn't have any time penalties and has jumped up a position, but it's a good points haul for the Aston Martin duo there. We'll just have a very quick look on who got the fastest lap. It was Michael, so he takes maximum points here of Mexico, 26. Or no, actually, sorry, I say that. They have a different point system here. But he does get the fastest lap, so he will get that extra point. He will get maximum points, but it's not 26 points. Steve comes in 7th. 8th is Smee. 9th is Dopey Lemons. 10th is Starless. Angry Dutch Guy is just coming around the stadium along with Grimmy. I don't know about you, Justin, but that was almost like some sweet cooking. It built up and built up, got warmer and warmer and tastier, and then in the final lap we got to eat that lovely last lap battle.
But it's not even just that. Even the aftertaste of that winning, as he is going to be on that podium chugging that champagne, he should be very proud of himself. Both the game's driver of the day and also our driver of the day in the commentators' box. Well done, Michael, representing Aston Martin perfectly at Mexico. I hope you're proud, my friend. I hope you're proud, because you should, taking that top position on that podium and winning the Mexican Grand Prix. Amazing stuff. Amazing, amazing, amazing stuff.
So, the final classifications for the Mexican Grand Prix. Michael takes the win from 11th on the grid. First man to start on the fresh set, and it worked nicely for him. Farth comes home in 2nd. Andries was 3rd. Battlemini was in 4th. Joseph was in 5th. Markey was in 6th, had a little bit of a scrappy race, but was able to gain some time and move up some places. Steve came home in 7th. Smee was 8th. Dopey Lemons was 9th. Starless had that incident in the middle of the race and then finished 10th. Angry Dutch Guy was the first man outside of the points. Grimmy was 12th. Wolsey was 13th. 14th was DK Joe. Jackie was 15th. Tomo Tip Top was 16th. DNFs for McCanny, New Dart Destroyer, and Richard, who was out on lap 1.
Very unfortunate for Richard. I could definitely see him battling those top runners, but as at the end of the day, he has finished in last place because of the DNF. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this Mexican Grand Prix. We surely have, especially in the final laps between Michael and F1 Farth. Amazing battle between them two. Amazing respect for both of them. But hopefully we'll see something like that next week. Well, actually, is it next week? I don't know if they have a break next week.
I don't think they do. No, I don't think they do. So, everyone, thank you very much. As Justin said earlier on in the race, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe on the videos. So, the subscribe is completely free. Just helps us out a great deal. Want to get to that 150 mark. Just quickly, if you didn't hear before from yesterday, half points from lap 25. That order will be sorted out in the next day or two, and we'll get that to you on Sunday when we race in SSR, and that, of course, they're not having a week break, Justin. We just went to Britain. We're going to Hungary next week, so that's Budapest for that, and no race on Monday and no race on Tuesday, so we're only going to have a race on Sunday this weekend. So make sure to check that out, and I'm back again potentially next week for SRM ESports, which you've been watching today. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. As I said, please like and share on the video, and hit that subscribe button, just that little red button beneath this screen right now. Anyway, thank you very much for watching Limitless DxT coverage of SRM Esports' Round 10 Mexican Grand Prix. Michael in the Aston Martin was your winner. We won out overall, Justin, from watching a really, really great race. And for next time, it's goodbye from me and from Justin.
Have a good one, lads. Hope you enjoyed it.